Boom.
Yo, hey, what's up, everybody? We're live. It's a Wrestling Uncensored pre-show. I'm Dave. He's Johnny. Episode 390 on the podcast, on YouTube. As always, we're going to wait for a second here. People are going to kick in live. We'll get the comments on here. When I look over here, people are like, what are you looking at? I'm looking at the comments on YouTube so I can respond to what people are saying. But yeah, so Wrestling Uncensored. What's going on, man?
What's going on? A lot happened this week.
A lot happened. What happened?
Well, I wrestled. I had a match.
All right. Who'd you wrestle?
I wrestled Ray Steele. It was here in Montreal. It was a charity show we did.
Okay. Who's Ray Steele?
Ray Steele, he's a wrestler from Ontario. Known for quite a while, like 7 years now. And it's the first time we ever wrestled each other. First time we ever touched in the ring. And if you saw the YouTube match, it was a lot of fun. It was just the crowd was into it from start to finish.
I don't think I've seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet. I'm disappointed. Of
you
course.
Retweeted it, but I haven't. I think I even retweeted your tweet.
And you still didn't see it.
But it's on my list of things to watch. Okay. There's another one, too. You had another match that was up on YouTube, right? Because they posted the whole show for Great North Wrestling.
I actually haven't watched that, but I
are you
experienced
on it?
Yeah, I'm in the first match, I believe, yeah.
So if I watch that YouTube thing, you tweeted that out, right? At North Genesis to see Johnny North in the ring. Go to his Twitter feed at North Genesis. He tweets out the links. And then you can see his matches, right? You can see your matches.
That's right. Yeah, even I can see my match because I still haven't seen that one yet. So,
oh, there you go. Well, I haven't seen it either. So Ray Steele.
Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. It was a very old school kind of match, very simple, but crowd ate it up. Crowd loved it. Promoter was very happy with it. It's funny, we're told not to swear, and the crowd is chanting for me to kill him. So that's fun.
Well, that's not swearing.
It's not swearing, but we can't do something like that. I can't say I'm going to kill you in the ring.
What was the chant? Kill him?
Genesis is going to kill you.
Genesis is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've heard that chant for you before.
Yeah, it's not a bad chant.
It's a good chant because when you come out, you look really mad.
Because I am.
And you're big and jacked, And whoever is standing there waiting to wrestle you, for the most part, it looks like you're about to kill them, Because you're just so much bigger than them. It's like, oh, my God, Genesis is going to kill you. It's a good reaction. It's a good natural reaction to seeing you in the ring.
The thing is, what helps, too, is Ray Steele. He's kind of a big guy, too. Really well-defined. Good muscle mass. And, it looks like he can take a good beating, but he played the coward, and people enjoyed it when I finally got my hands on him and laid it in on him.
So, that's it? How did the match go? You like the match? Good match?
I'm just happy that the crowd, was into it from start to finish. That's not easy for the crowd to love pretty much everything you do. Because a lot of it, too, was just us interacting with the crowd. There wasn't a lot of wrestling at some points. Some people don't like that kind of stuff. Also, there was maybe some moments where it's just mainly comedy. And comedies can be hit and miss in wrestling. Some people don't find it funny. But they liked it, regardless that maybe the airplane spin for a good 20 seconds was a little much. But people still were okay with it.
You did an airplane spin on him for 20 seconds?
Yeah.
So an airplane spin, for those that don't know, you put him up on your shoulders.
That's right.
And then you just spin around.
Yeah.
You did that spot.
Yeah, we did that spot.
That's fun.
That's just afterwards you're trying to get your placing back, and he said he thought he was going to throw up because he told me to stop, and I'm like, nah, I'm going to do it for a little bit longer. So
he thought he was going to throw up while you were airplane spinning him?
Well,
how did you feel after the spinning around with a man on your shoulders?
A little dizzy, but that's natural. I'm just glad we spaced it out a bit too. We made sure it wasn't a crazy spot right away. It's we kind of knock heads into each other. Then someone comes out for the interference, so it gives us time to kind of ease into the next spot.
Okay. And then what was the next spot?
Well, the next spot was me getting screwed over because the guy who interferes cost me.
So the next spot is you losing the match?
Well,
is what you're saying?
The tradition of me losing a match, that kept happening. If you wanted to know. I'm sure that's all you care about. So
No, that's not all I care about. I find it comical that, you lose a lot of the matches. Like, most of the time when you would come here last year, more than this year. 2018 has started very strong for you.
Started, yeah.
And now it's...
Okay, May was a bad month. May's been a pretty bad month.
Yeah, have you lost all your matches? Like, I feel like you're coming here often and saying, yeah, I lost this, I lost... You're losing all the matches these days. You're not going over.
Yeah, May, I think I've lost all my matches. That's right, yeah.
What's with this jobber May you're having?
Because they built me up for title matches, and then I lost them, and now, it's still on the path down kind of thing. So that happens.
Yeah. So,
what can you do?
Happens. But you're having good matches, and you're having fun, right? So, and what promotion was this for?
This was for Drew Onyx's Torture Chamber shows.
Okay. And when's the next one?
It's going to be this Sunday.
This Sunday you're wrestling again?
Yeah, this Sunday again, yeah.
And after his pre-show, you're actually leaving to go wrestle somewhere...
In Ontario, in Pembroke, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a busy weekend. It's fun. It's good.
When's the show in Pembroke? I mean, people are watching right now live on YouTube. Maybe they're around and they can check you out.
Well, it's going to be at 7:30.
7:30 tonight.
So, yeah, I'll just be getting there myself, given it's like a good 4-hour drive away. So, yeah.
Wow. So, Antoinette is sending a comment here. Hi, Antoinette. She says, Roman thing getting screwed, Johnny. I don't really understand that.
I'm like Roman?
I think you're like Roman. You're like getting screwed over like Roman is. Because Roman, Roman Reigns is the real rebel. He's really fighting against the authority. Because the WWE, John, they don't want Roman to succeed. They really don't want Roman to succeed. That's why he's main evented like 4 straight WrestleManias. Because he's really not their guy. At least that's the storyline right now.
But he's not the champion right now. That's the problem. So that's it. He's getting screwed over because he's not the guy right now.
Yeah, but he's one of those guys where he doesn't need the title. You know what I mean?
That's what you want to believe, but I'm sure his fans would think otherwise.
I don't know about that.
I'm sure if I was in Roman's case, I'd think otherwise too. I'd rather have the title.
Would you?
Yes.
Then have Brock have it and chase it?
Yeah, I think I'd rather have the title, actually. Yeah, because you've already chased it, and you failed, and you're still chasing. No, just give me the title.
Yeah, well, he doesn't get the title. He doesn't get the title. Robert Cluse checking in. Oh, I think that's Gimme 5 Bs on Twitter. You know, the Abe Simpson guy on Twitter?
Is, yeah.
What's up, man? He's catching a live show. Checking in. And Antoinette saying, yeah, what's up, Robert? And Antoinette saying it's Roman's birthday. I don't, whatever. He's going to get the title eventually. I don't really care. I don't need to see him with the title. I don't need to see him main eventing. Quite frankly, his spot on Money in the Bank seems just about right to me in a mid-card, useless match with Jinder Mahal. That's where I want to see Roman. What he's doing right now works for me. He's still strong. He beat Kevin Owens on Raw. But he's really feuding with Jinder, and that's his big match at Money in the Bank. That seems to me about where he should be based on his level of talent. Mid-card, wrestling Jinder. That's where you belong, Roman. You know what I mean?
I think it's just funny that someone just said it's his birthday, and you don't acknowledge or say, like, happy birthday or anything. You're just like, yeah, whatever. That's your feeling on it. Like, you're really a nice guy, aren't you? Like, wonderful person.
What? Happy birthday, Roman.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Did that hurt inside to say that? Like, it felt like it hurt for you.
Robert says we're a lot prettier than he figured. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, I guess. Sure. Thanks.
Do we sound ugly on the air? I don't know.
Well, because radio, right? You would think that they're...
Yeah. Well, that's why we're on YouTube, so we can see how beautiful and jacked we are.
Yeah, me more of that, but yeah.
Super jacked. You can't see in this jacket.
Of course.
I don't want to show off the massive guns in the jacket. I'm not a show-off like some people.
I'm not wearing a tank top today.
Not today. Most days he's like, tank top, guns just blazing out.
It's just the way it is.
But Robert's saying that the WWE has done a terrible job with him as well, which is true as far as Roman is concerned.
Completely.
WWE has done a bad job making him the guy, you know? They've tried, and the way that they have gone about it has been mostly wrong.
And
you
now,
know, now it's like, it's almost too late, you know? Now it's like, he's too far gone. And the feud with Jinder is like, whatever. I'm not even sure what's next for Roman. Like, you know?
Well, eventually Brock, right? Like,
is it, though? Is that where we're
be.
headed?
It has to be. Like, where else can he go? Like, he has to, because he still has that Royal Rumble, Greatest Rumble controversy. You need to get that settled.
I guess so.
So we're going down that route. It's going to be a slow route, and it just feels like nothing's going to happen in the meantime. And that's why you get this Jinder feud, which kind of means nothing.
Whatever. So that's wrestling talk, though. We should stick to Wrestling Uncensored. This is the pre-show, right? Antoinette is telling... I shouldn't even read her comment. I'm not going to read her comment.
Why not?
Because it's negative towards me, so I'm not reading it.
Oh, jeez.
No, she says, Johnny, kick Dave's ass. He is so moody today. Ha ha.
No,
not funny, Antoinette.
But he's always like that. Like, it's just natural, Dave. That's it. Like,
no, she's just mad because I'm not showing respect to her favorite guy, Roman. That's why. That's her deal. She loves Roman Reigns. She's Roman Reigns' #1 fan.
You never show respect to Roman Reigns. There's so many shows with you ranting about how Roman Reigns should not be the guy.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't. He's terrible. If you look at the top performers in the WWE, the top 10 guys, as far as like guys I want to see and are entertaining, he's not in the top 10.
Fine. Your opinion, okay.
For me.
I'm just saying, based off the reactions, which I find he gets some of the best reactions in the company.
Yeah.
He should be among the top. It just makes a lot of sense. He should be in the main event scene.
He gets good reactions.
And he takes a very good beating. You can't deny that.
Yeah, he takes a very good beating. But his matches are very predictable.
Right.
You know. But he's not unlike the great champions that the WWE has had in the past, like John Cena or Hulk Hogan.
I find he's very much on that level.
Yeah, he wrestles that way. But if you ask people who the greatest champions were in the WWE, you know, they'll probably mention Hogan and Cena, but not really for their wrestling. It's for their persona and the way they were pushed by the company. I mean, Hogan was pushed for good reason because he was the hottest act in the business. Cena was created by the WWE and pushed to the moon because they decided that's where they were going. And that's more what Roman is right now. Another guy the WWE has just decided, anointed as the chosen one, and that's why he is where he is. And people are tired of that and they reject that. At least with Cena, there was some buzz. People did like him. People liked Cena when he first started way more than they like Roman right now.
Well, they liked Roman a bit too in the Shield originally, right? So he had something. It's just the single run, that was the problem. And he wasn't ready yet for the singles run, and they forced it. That was another problem.
Rob over here saying the best thing for Roman and for us would be an absence followed by a heel turn. People want the heel turn for Roman just like they wanted the heel turn for Cena. Mm-hmm. And I think of it the same way. Like, if you're booing Roman now, if he turns heel, will you start cheering him? And if you do, well, what's the point of a heel turn? What's the point of having him wrestle other guys, having him be a heel if you're going to boo him anyways? Or you're going to start cheering him for being a bad guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's tough.
Well, you need someone that he could really feud with. Like Seth Rollins, he's not really likable. Daniel Bryan would be the guy, but they're not on the same show, so it doesn't work right now. If he goes to SmackDown, yeah, turn him heel. On Raw, I honestly believe he's one of the top faces on Raw.
Is he, though?
Who's another big face? Like, is he gonna?
But he gets booed consistently.
Yeah, but is he gonna feud with Finn Balor? Like, look at the faces on Raw. Like, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for these faces. Daniel Bryan, yes. Jeff Hardy, yeah. That's about it.
So you're saying it's hard to turn him heel on Raw because he doesn't have any sympathetic baby faces to work against?
That's a huge part of it, yeah.
Yeah, but he's getting booed anyways. He's in a weird spot.
Well, he's in a weird spot because Brock's gone.
He's in between. Well, everybody's in a weird spot because Brock's gone.
Yeah.
Brock is holding up the whole show. But you know what? It doesn't matter because business is great, so they don't care. They literally do not care what the product is. People may hate it. People may think it's bad. People may not like Roman. It does not matter. They're making more money now than they've ever made in the history of the company. They're getting huge TV deals. Stock is going way up. They are doing great. Business is booming for WWE. So there's no motivation for them to change course. So whatever show you're getting right now, get used to it because that's where we're headed. We're just going to stick with what they're doing. Love it or leave it.
And if you saw the ratings this week, a lot of people did leave it. Got some low ratings this week. So,
as it should. The product is terrible. And these TV companies that are, investing in WWE, Fox, and all these people that are trying to buy the WWE rights, right?
Mm-hmm.
They need to know what they're getting. I feel like it's very similar to the people that bought the UFC, Like these people aren't buying the WWE outright, but they're acquiring the TV rights, so they're, investing a major amount of money in the WWE. And the people that bought the UFC, they spend a lot of money on this product that's kind of going downhill now. It's like you buy it, you overpay for it, and then you don't really get what you pay for in the end.
And it's going to be like a 3-year deal, too, for Fox? But what else are they going to put on Fridays? I think that was the issue. They didn't have anything else for Fridays, so they're hoping maybe wrestling can do it.
I'm not happy about that. Friday Night SmackDown potentially going 3 hours? What's that about?
Oh, just Friday in general. SmackDown wasn't great when it was on Fridays.
Yeah, I don't want to wait till Friday for SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's going to cause problems for us.
Us, them, usually it's easier for them Monday, Tuesday to do
I'm more concerned about us.
I worry about me too, but I worry about the product too. I'm going to be watching. The wrestling I'm going to be watching. Is it going to be as good? They said this might kill the split now. Raw and SmackDown, because they want the top stars on SmackDown then.
Great. So it'll just be the B show again. Antoinette says, I still look sharp, and maybe Roman shouldn't be the guy, but Jinder is a bullshit match. And she says that segments like Lashley's are terrible, and the ratings are dropping.
I can understand why people would tune out.
Yeah, she's not wrong. It's bad. And she's also saying she hopes Friday isn't taped. I don't think SmackDown will be recorded on Fridays. If it goes to Fridays, I think it's going to be live still, right? That's the deal.
We'll wait and see, right? Because it's going to be September of 2019, right? So who knows how things will be shaped. Like what happens to 205 if that's the case?
Good point. I think it's a wait-and-see deal to see how they roll it out and what exactly gets announced. But it seems like they're going to be making a lot of money. And Robert says, yeah, it took them 3 weeks to ruin Bobby Lashley. That's about right. What a terrible segment that was. Bizarre. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that on the main show of Wrestling Uncensored. You had some stuff you wanted to talk about, right? Not just your match, but you wanted to something?
Because the second season of 13 Reasons Why came out. Wanted to do a nice little recap. Because we talked about it last year.
Yeah.
I know you weren't a fan of it, about the shows about the girl who kills herself.
What do you mean I wasn't a fan of it?
You didn't think it was a good show? You didn't think it was something that we should really talk about?
I didn't. I never said that. I never said anything like that.
I remember something to that regard that you weren't really a big fan of it.
I hadn't seen it.
And you didn't think it was something worth watching. I remember that. But then people were like, "Oh, you're kind of right, John. You know, it makes a lot of sense. You should watch that kind of show." I remember something like that happened. So,
well, you watched it, and like it's about a girl who kills herself,
right?
And sends tapes to people telling them why, right?
That's right. That was the first season,
right? And you were very taken by this show.
Yeah. Well, because like it's in high school, right? It takes place in high school.
Yeah.
And it just reminds me, like high school was and still is to this day very cruel.
Sure.
So
very tough on Hannah.
Yeah.
Very
tough. You remember the name? Wow, that's amazing.
Of course, man.
Away. You don't even watch the show, but you know the name.
I don't like Tony, I'll tell you that much. Don't like him.
Oh, boy. I feel bad because I'm like, man, you remind me a bit of Tony.
The guy's a homosexual.
But because he has rage issues, right? Anger issues. And to deal with
He's an unrealistic character. The show is terrible, by the way. I've been watching it.
What? Wow. You're blowing me away.
Yeah.
You've blown me away. This is the big surprise.
That's right.
Wow.
Big surprise.
You've seen every episode.
No, I'm like 7 episodes in. Maybe I think I'm on the 8th. I'm almost done the 8th episode of the first season.
Oh, we can't talk about the season finale then. That's too bad.
No, not yet. Don't spoil it for me. I'm not really enjoying it.
Sasha, I'm sorry. Like we can't talk about the finale. I know he wanted me to talk about it, but I can't now.
No. Next week, maybe we'll talk about it more.
Wow, this is getting two-parter. This is awesome.
I'll get into the second season or whatever. I did it for the show, John. I did it for the show. That's my dedication. I put in many hours, almost 8 hours now, into watching this Netflix show. And I kind of want to know what happens. I kind of want to know like what they all really did to her. I mean, we're getting the picture, right? But it's like, well, what really happened here? What's going on? But it's not very good. It's not like a good show, you know? A lot of the characters they don't make sense. They're too, like, it's just, they're too self-aware to be high school kids, you know? Like,
that's TV, though.
It's just nonsense. Like, they're too adult. It's weird, you know? It's not a good show. A lot of the characters do not make any kind of sense. They don't feel like real people. The scar on the kid's head there, Clay.
That's season 1.
Yeah. Well, I'm reviewing season 1 right now. Okay, deal with it. The scar on that kid's head, it looks so fake. Like it's always like it looks like makeup all the time. He's got this scar on his head the whole season.
But you understand what the scar is, though, right?
Yeah, he fell off his bike. He got hit with a car.
But, like, every time he's going through different emotions.
He bleeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, it's stupid.
So you're only in season 1. You haven't started season 2.
No, what did I just say?
Oh, I thought you were 7 episodes into season 2.
No. Season 1, because I was trying to for that moment, I just wanted your shocked face on the show.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Just for the name, you shocked me. I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
That's all you had to do is look up a name.
No. I wasn't just looking up a name. I've seen several episodes of this show. Doing it for the pre-show because you were so into it when we talked about it months ago, and now you've been tweeting nonstop about the second season. So I was like, all right, let's see what Johnny North's talking about here. Let's watch this show, and then I'll surprise him by having seen some of the episodes on the pre-show. It was a big plan. Started a couple of days ago. Seen several episodes. And, I just want to get to the end. I kind of want to skip to the end. You know what's really annoying? Why hasn't he listened to the tapes? What has taken this stupid kid so long to listen to the tapes? And even at one point, the guy, Tony's like, hey, man, how come you haven't listened to the tapes? And he's like...
He doesn't talk like that.
Well, whatever. And he's getting to it, you know? And he's like, man, you got to listen to the tapes, man. And he's like, oh, it's too hard, man. I can't do it. It's like, man, just listen to the tapes. Get through it already. Man, what is taking you so long? Listen to the stupid tapes. Why isn't he listening to the tapes?
Well,
one of the kids is like, yeah, I listened to them like in one day. And this guy, it's taken him months, it feels like, to listen to all these tapes.
There's a reason. You aren't there yet.
Well, it's like a dead girl, and he's trying to get the whole story, and what's his problem?
You're not there yet. Episode 11, you'll understand a lot better. once you get there, though. So, well, instead of doing a season 2 review, I guess we'll wait on season 2 review.
Yeah, let's wait till next week.
I'll review.
I'll review it too. You'll give it a positive review, and I will rip it apart.
Well, I'll just wait until you get through. You've seen the dance at least, right?
The dance?
When they were at the dance together, you saw that one.
They danced around. Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
You didn't think anything of that one, like.
What am I supposed to think?
Just like what they, what the girl meant to the guy. Like, you didn't see that?
Well, obviously they get together because they do little cuts of, like, they're at a party and they're getting together, right? So at some point they get together. I know that. Okay. They've already spoiled that for you in the show.
Sort of.
Well, they show you a little clip of it. It's like, oh, what happened at this girl's party? Something happened between the two of them. I don't know what happened, but something happened, and I'm sure it'll be revealed to me towards the end of the season, and I'll be like, oh, okay, that's what happened. I don't even know if I'm going to watch the season 2, to be quite honest. Like, I'm going to see how season 1 ends. If it's good, like, most of this show is about the finish.
Right.
And if the finish delivers, then maybe I'll watch season 2. If it doesn't deliver, I'm out. And so far, I'm feeling like it's not going to deliver because every episode I'm like, yeah, all right.
Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to handle it. That's my problem. I think it's just going to be too much for you. That's what I think.
You don't think I'll be able to handle it?
Yeah.
Can I tell you one thing?
Sure.
Can I ask, did you feel like emotional and sad while watching the show?
Yeah. Many times.
I have not.
Okay.
Not for a second.
Okay.
Not for a second have I felt like choked up watching this show.
Okay.
Legitimately. And sometimes I get choked up watching Total Bellas, but not this show.
Total Bellas.
I do. I feel for Nikki Bella. I feel for her and Natty and Total Divas. Daniel Bryan, when he's going through, when he wasn't able to wrestle and he was depressed. You don't get choked up for a guy like that? You don't feel for a guy like that?
Not at all.
You're a wrestler. How heartless are you?
He's had a pretty good career so far anyways, even without the comeback.
How dare you?
He got to marry a great woman. Like, it's really been a bad life for Daniel Bryan.
Let me tell you, I feel way more feelings watching an episode of Total Bellas than I do watching that 13 Reasons Why show that you like so much.
Okay. Fine. Well, you care about these characters more, I guess. I understand.
Of course. I'm more invested in them.
It's hard to care about John Cena that much, but all right, fine, you do.
I care about Nikki, not so much Cena.
It's a package deal, no?
That first episode of Total Bellas was awesome this week. I can't wait for Sunday for another one. It's my favorite WWE show. It's the best. And Johnny's supposed to start watching it.
I'll start watching the first episode this week, yeah.
You better. Rob here says, no mention of New Japan Best of Super Juniors. Lucha Underground is back in 2 weeks. And Impact is improving. Is Impact improving? I haven't really been watching. But every time I tune in, like I tune in here and there, I don't know, man. It doesn't feel like it's improving. It feels like they show a lot of their old stuff on Impact.
Okay.
Like they're airing AJ Styles matches from like 8 years ago.
Makes sense. He's over. Why not?
Yeah, but it's weird. Like it doesn't feel like a wrestling show. And then they're like, okay, now we're going to show you a match that happened at House of Hardcore between one of our guys and this other guy. And it's like, what? This is Impact? It's not like a cohesive wrestling show. So it's confusing to me what exactly they're trying to do. I don't love it. I have watched some of the Best of the Super Juniors, but I haven't finished watching it. I think Hiromu won the whole thing. But, I'm enjoying it. It's great. It's fantastic. But I haven't gone through the whole thing yet because I've been watching this stupid Johnny North show. I should be watching Best of the Super Juniors, but I'm watching stupid 13 Reasons Why. So I'm going to stop watching this show soon as it's over, and I'm going to get to the end of the Super Juniors.
Hey, I'm going to make time for Total Bellas. You can make time for 13 Reasons.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
Fine.
I'm watching your show. You got to watch my show. That's how it works on the pre-show.
Cool. Fantastic.
And he says, Big Sexy turns 45 today, and he's not talking about Kevin Nash. He's talking about Bartolo Colon. So, shout out to you, Bartolo Colon. We love you. You're the last Expo standing. Forever, we are with you, Bartolo. Keep throwing the heat. Except when you play against the Yankees and you're going to get smashed because you are jabroni Bartolo.
Or the Red Sox.
F the Red Sox, all right?
Terrible.
FTR. S. FTR S. You know, like F the Revival? FTR. FTR. F the Red Sox.
You know, the enthusiasm for Cologne instead of Roman Reigns is amazing. You could tell where the love was.
Yeah, Roman Reigns sucks, and Bartolo Colon played for the Expos. So big shout out to you, Bartolo. We love you. I can't believe you're still pitching in Major League Baseball at 45 years of age.
Didn't he pitch like a no-hitter recently, too?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know.
That's amazing.
I don't know. I don't really follow baseball in so much as I follow the Yankees.
Well, when it's not in your hometown, it's kind of tough,
Yeah, but I've never been a guy who follows, the whole sport of baseball. I've always been a guy who follows one team. I won't know all the players in the whole league, but I will know every player and what they should be doing on one specific team. More when the Expos were around, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
I knew those teams inside and out, but the Yankees right now are just fantastic. That's my squad. I love them.
It's going to be close. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, Rob says he pitched 7 no-hit innings 2 weeks ago. And, yeah, Antoinette's saying I should be showing birthday love to Roman and more than Bartolo, but no. And,
always criticism for Dave.
My dad checking in telling me that the Yankees suck. You know what?
Right,
I'm ending this pre-show because you said that, okay? Everybody thank my dad for ending this pre-show. It's over. Telling me the Yankees suck. You're jabroni. How dare you? It's over. All right? Wrestling time. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Well, now this is the part where you apologize to your father for doing that?
No.
Wow. You took a lot of heat this week for some reason. I don't understand it.
I just ended the pre-show because my dad was watching and he dissed the Yankees. Take that.
You should be happy that your dad was watching. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy he's watching. That's fine. Good for him. It's good. He doesn't have to watch. He doesn't have to watch me on YouTube. He can see me in person.
Well, the fun thing, too, about YouTube, you can see it anytime you want. So the fact that he sees it live, it's kind of awesome. And he commented,
yeah.
Time to write Yankees suck.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty amazing.
You think that's amazing?
Yeah, they
They
did.
took the
They
time to write
do
Yankees
that.
suck. My brother and I are big Yankee fans.
Mm-hmm. And
my dad just, hates on the Yankees constantly. He's just, always.
Wow.
Yeah, he won't jump on the bandwagon. How dare he, How dare he? But, if my son became a Red Sox fan, I would disown him. I mean, let's be honest. He'd be out of the family.
We're going to have some talks, me and Zev, in the future.
How dare you? Yeah, look, he's already a Yankee fan. He's got a Yankees hat. I just ordered him a brand new Yankees hoodie.
Uh-oh.
So he's all set, all right? Pinstripes all day, forever.
It's concerning. I worry about your son growing up. I do.
I worry about you.
Me growing up? I'll be fine.
I worry about you growing up. When's that going to happen?
It's already happened.
Yeah, you got teen angst like a 13-year-old girl.
Oh, man. Come on. You watch the show, too, now, because of me. But still.
I watch the show because of you, to mock you and to mock the show.
Oh, man. You break my heart.
No, I won't.
You kind of...
You're a tough guy.
I'm tough, but still, it hurts.
What? What's the matter?
I like the show a lot. I'm sorry.
You do, eh?
Yeah, I do.
It's not that good. I mean, it's I want to know what happens next.
Right? It's a mystery in a sense.
It is. It's like a mystery,
That's the fun part at
yeah.
first.
But it's done that well, but the acting is not very good. And the dialogue is pretty weak. It's cheesy and the characters really don't make sense. That Tony character, that Tony character makes no sense. How is he always there? Makes no sense. It's like he's imamerry. Do we find out in the end that he's imaginary, that he's not a real character?
You're going to have to wait more for second season on Tony. You don't get the final of his whole story until second season. Oh, my
God. He's around again in the second season?
Wow.
It's not like a whole new show. It's like the same people?
You got to get through the first season. You'll understand where the second season will go. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, I guess. It's not good.
It's fine. You don't like it. It's fine, but you understand that I do, and I like to talk about it, and some people like to hear my opinions, so I'm going to
that's fine. That's fine.
express my opinions.
Yeah. I'm happy. Look, I don't hate it. I kind of like it, you know? But I recognize that it's just it's not a quality product. It's, you know.
I understand you don't like some of the actors. Like, yeah, even I find at some points, some of the acting points, I'm like, that wasn't that good.
This kid on a bike, at one point he follows his friend who's in a car. They make it to the destination at the same time.
Right.
Doesn't make sense.
He wasn't driving fast.
Yeah. It's like this kid on the bike always seems to keep up with his friend in the car. It's ridiculous. We're giving a lot of promotion to this show, eh? People are going to start watching it now.
If they haven't already.
You've done a good job. You got me to start watching it.
That's true.
Right? But whatever. Can we start talking about wrestling here? Sick of this.
Well, I think it's pretty amazing. The pre-show, we talked already a lot about wrestling.
I know. Did you like my surprise? Good surprise, right? What a reveal.
It blew me away. Actually, more about how you care about the Bellas more than you care about 13 Reasons. That blew me away more, but...
I'm full of surprises, Johnny North.
You certainly are. Without question.
You better believe it. All right, it's wrestling time. Money in the Bank is coming. Brother?
Eventually. I mean, June 17th is far away.
Oh, good God almighty. Is it really June 17th that they're doing it?
Oh, and I'm going to break your heart. I'm wrestling June 17th, by the way.
You are?
Yeah, so I don't know if I'll be able to make the post show.
What?
I'm sorry. Got to wrestle now.
Well, maybe I'll do my own solo post show.
Gets good ratings.
By myself on June 17th. I got to work extra hard on Father's Day by myself. Thanks for the support. My first Father's Day, John. No support, no love. I'll be waiting for the gift. I expect gifts. I expect gifts from everybody.
Your son should just, give you a big smile, and that's the biggest gift of all.
Well, can I get some stuff, too? How about some stuff? Or like something. I don't know. Number one dad shirt.
Considering the wonderful father's gift this is to your dad right now, I don't know.
That I stopped the show because he dissed my team. Oh, I mostly did that for my brother. Big shout out to my brother. Because I know he's going to watch that and find it hilarious that I did that. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, this is Mick Foley, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
What's going on, y'all? This is WWE superstar Kofi Kingston, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Rob Van Dam. You're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Yeah. Welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. I am Dave Simon. He is Johnny North. We're here on TSN 690 every Saturday night talking professional wrestling. The best in the WWE. Everything going on in the world of professional wrestling covered here on Wrestling Uncensored on all our platforms, on our YouTube channel. We just got done doing the world-famous Wrestling Uncensored pre-show, which we air live on YouTube. And you can check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport, DOTNET. And everything up there, all our shows available for podcast there, on iTunes, on Google Play, wherever you get your stuff. And, of course, online, on our website, our online home, WrestlingUncensored.net. Very simple. Just go to WrestlingUncensored.net. There's links to our YouTube shows, to our iTunes, to everything, right? And even to Johnny North's Twitter, where you can follow him at North Genesis. He is a professional wrestler. And he is, of course, my co-host as always here on Wrestling Uncensored. You can follow me at Dave Simon MMA. Johnny North, we are a few weeks away from WWE Money in the Bank. That's the next big stop for World Wrestling Entertainment. We have, 1, 2, 3 weeks of TV before the next pay-per-view. So, kind of weird that we have so much time when this show is mostly booked. We haven't really had any big matches that haven't been announced yet. The WWE Championship match we found out this week will be a last man standing match between Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. We found out, I guess we didn't find out much about the men's Money in the Bank match, which you would assume could main event this show. The New Day did not tell us what member of the New Day will be participating, but they kind of said that they wouldn't really announce that until the night of. And we will have a match on SmackDown coming up on Tuesday night between Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan. That's correct. Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan will be wrestling one-on-one for something, for a big spot on SmackDown this week, which is very exciting, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. But a lot of these matches are announced, right? Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey. They had a little confrontation on Raw. They're going to wrestle one-on-one. That's the other big one. Now that I think about it, maybe that main event's Money in the Bank. But a lot of these big matches have been mostly put together. The women's Money in the Bank match, pretty much all set. We only have one more person to join in, and that's going to be decided Monday night in a gauntlet match. But we have Ember Moon, Charlotte, Alexa, Becky, Natalya, Lana, and Naomi all qualified already, and they're just waiting for the 8th participant. So pretty much everything's booked. Makes you wonder, what do we do for the next 3 weeks?
Well, not everything's booked. We still don't know who Seth Rollins is going to wrestle. Money in the Bank. We don't know who Jeff Hardy's going to wrestle for the U.S. title. You have 2 championship matches right there, plus the Raw tag team titles, which I think is going to be filled because now with the pay-per-views being longer, you kind of have to have more matches.
Whatever happened to the Raw tag team champions?
They're around-ish, I guess.
When's the last time we saw them on TV, in the ring, wrestling?
I think they wrestled the B team and beat them.
Like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
They weren't on Raw this week.
No.
Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy are the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Deleters of Worlds. They won it at the Greatest Royal Rumble, the tag team titles, right?
Yep.
Barely seen them since. They weren't on Raw this week. They weren't on Raw last week. And there's no number 1 contenders for them right now. So I guess over the next 3 weeks we figure that out.
Well, I thought the B team, because of their wins, they proved that they're number 1 contenders, I guess, because they said they wanted a title shot against Kurt Angle.
But all they've done is beat Breezango 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I know it's not much, but I mean, there's not much to Raw besides that. They took away the Authors of Pain. They're not on Raw anymore, apparently.
They're not?
Well, they're just not being featured anymore.
What happened to them?
Teams disappear. So they disappeared.
Hold on. We saw the Authors of Pain on Raw a few weeks ago in Montreal.
And you haven't seen them since, I think.
I don't think we've seen them since they beat those 2 guys, right? What's their tag team name again? 3.0.
Yeah.
They beat 3.0 on Raw, and then they get disappeared? What happened?
Nothing in the plans for them, it looks like.
I thought they were going to be a major piece of the Raw Tag Team division. And now you look at the Raw Tag Team division, and I'm trying to come up with tag teams that are on Raw, and I can't come up with a single one other than Breezango and Matt and Bray. Are there other tag teams on Raw? The Revival? Are they still on Raw? They've been jobbed out so much, though, they are no longer credible.
That's true.
The Good Brothers are over on SmackDown, right? Anderson and Gallows.
They're getting the shot at the SmackDown tag titles.
Yeah, they're going to take on the Usos, right? Or no, the Bludgeon Brothers.
They beat the Usos.
Man, and you look at how deep the SmackDown tag team division is compared to the Raw tag team division. It doesn't make any sense. And they just had a superstar shakeup. What are they doing? What were they thinking? I mean, they kept New Day on SmackDown. The Usos are on SmackDown. The Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, a legit tag team act that has worked for years now in the WWE, they're on SmackDown. Cesaro and Sheamus, this great tag team act that you've created, you move them to SmackDown. I mean, Gallows and Anderson, a great tag team act, they're on SmackDown. All the tag teams are on SmackDown. What is going on? Why even have tag team championships for Raw? I think it's time to unify the tag belts.
I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Well, come on, man. Look at the roster. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. The tag team division on Raw is so weak. Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are the top option right now.
I'm not going to say it's great.
And they're called the B Team, which is just a nice name for guys that, aren't really good, that have been jobbing for a while. We're the B Team, and that's over for a bit until it's not. That gimmick doesn't last very long. I've seen it before. Remember the Job Squad? People cheered for the Job Squad until they realized we're just cheering for losers here.
Well, these guys are a little bit more over the top. Like, if you ever saw 3.0's gimmick in Quebec wrestling, it's very much like what the B Team's doing. It feels like they almost stole the gimmick. They saw what they could do, saw what they could offer, and it's like, oh, let's just give it to our guys on the roster instead of hiring these guys.
Really?
That's what I think happened.
So it's very, over the top, big celebrations whenever you win anything.
Ridiculous. I mean, they don't look like they could really hurt anybody, but they end up getting wins out of nowhere somehow. It's very much 3.0.
So the end game for this is what? Bo and Axel against Matt and Bray for the next 3 pay-per-views?
Ooh, that's going to be rough.
You know what I mean? Look at what we're left with here. The Revival. Authors of Pain apparently have been disappeared. I saw that they were doing NXT stuff, right?
That's true, they did, yeah.
So who knows? Where is that division? And why is SmackDown's tag team division so deep? And furthermore, why are you dragging the New Day into the tag division still? The New Day should be elevated out of that tag team division, out of the ranks of that division. No longer challenging for the tag team championship on SmackDown. They should be main eventers challenging for the main event scene. And this week on SmackDown, they were dragged back down into the tag division. It felt like it was going somewhere on SmackDown, where we had The Miz hosting Miz TV to kick off the show, and his guests were The New Day. And you thought, okay, here is The Miz, a singles guy, a guy that the WWE obviously has chosen to be one of their main event type players, mid card to main event level.
Right.
A single star in the company. And here he is doing a thing with the New Day. And then Miz has a match with Big E. So you think, okay, New Day, their feuds right now are with singles guys like The Miz. So The Miz is having this match with Big E, and then the Bar shows up, and they distract Big E by attacking Xavier Woods and Kofi at ringside. Now, what this does is drag the New Day back into a feud with the Bar for nothing more than a potential number 1 contender spot at the tag team titles. For the New Day, this is beneath them. They have risen above the tag team division and the tag team championship. They have got to the point where another tag team title run would be meaningless because they're bigger than the tag division. And that's why I've been saying for months, maybe years at this point, it has been years, because I've talked about Kofi winning the Money in the Bank before. You remember when Sheamus won Money in the Bank?
Yep.
And the New Day, and Kofi was in it.
Yep.
And the New Day said, Kofi wins Money in the Bank, we're all Mr. Money in the Bank. If Kofi's WWE champion, we're all WWE champion. And I said, yeah, that sounds good. That'd be fun. That's an innovative idea. That changes things up. So it has been years on Wrestling Uncensored that I've been saying that the New Day should be elevated because they're the hottest act in wrestling. You know, they're the hottest act in the WWE, have been for a very long time. Still very over. Everybody loves them. And they should not be dragged down to feud with the Bar. One of them should be winning the Money in the Bank. And Big E should never lose to The Miz. It's another thing, but I really think that these guys, any one of them really, deserves to be a WWE champion. You look at how good they are, each as individuals, and then together as a group, I see no reason why they shouldn't be given that opportunity to be at the top of the card, to take on the AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe. That's where they should be. They can do the promos, they have the look, and their wrestling is top level. I want to see AJ versus Big E for the WWE Championship in a one-on-one match. That's a good main event for a pay-per-view. Kofi versus AJ. Woods versus AJ. That works for me.
But if you're going to build up The Miz to be like that, he needs to get wins too. So that's why I think The Miz, and it shows that they're going in that direction more, that he's going to win Money in the Bank. He got the win instead. You're trying to build him so when he faces guys like Samoa Joe, faces AJ Styles, you could believe that The Miz is going to win.
Yeah, that's what they want to do, but that's not what they should do. Because The Miz is not as good as the New Day.
Fine, but
He just isn't.
That may be so, but it's clear after they announced that whoever wins Money in the Bank, depends which brand you're on, you can only face that champion. They announced that on SmackDown. If someone from SmackDown wins, you can only face the WWE champion for the Money in the Bank. And the same thing for the women.
So
Clearly someone from SmackDown is going to win because Brock Lesnar's not around.
Right.
So I think The Miz is a strong candidate, in my opinion. You know, I think he's a top candidate to win Money in the Bank. He makes the most sense when you have a champion like AJ Styles.
Yeah, I guess, but we've seen that so much. A guy who, like a heel, a cowardly heel like The Miz, holding Money in the Bank, threatening the cash-in. Well, is he going to do it now? Is he going to do it now? Carmella just did that for almost a full year. Miz is just going to do it again? It's been done by Carmella. You want to rehash a Carmella gimmick? That's what The Miz is? Fine. I mean, that is kind of what he is, right? I mean, he's like a male Carmella.
In a sense, yes. But they've never had it.
In a lot of ways.
In a
lot of ways.
No one's ever won the Money in the Bank twice. That's a first.
And you want to give that to The Miz?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
He's terrible, John. What are you talking about? You don't like The Miz?
But
who would you rather see wrestle, Miz or Kofi?
It's not about
that.
No.
Answer the question.
In terms of match, obviously Kofi, but
obviously Kofi. Did you see the dive that he did off Cesaro onto Sheamus this week? It was amazing. Off Cesaro's shoulder. Well, off the ring steps, off Cesaro's shoulder onto Sheamus. Incredible. Highlight reel stuff. And he's been doing it for years. Innovating for years. One of the best wrestlers in the company for years. Intercontinental champion. U.S. champion. Tag team champion.
The Miz, too, by the way, did all that.
Yeah, well, you know what? The Miz has also been at the top of the mountain, main evented WrestleMania, been WWE champion, and completely dropped the ball because he's got no talent. He's not a top-level wrestler. And I don't understand why they continue going down this road. Well, actually, I do. Because he does everything they tell him to do.
Right.
He does everything they tell him to do. He goes to, he works really hard. He shows up at all the media, and he's good at smiling and saying all the right things. Maybe I don't want a wrestler that says all the right things all the time. Maybe I want a wrestler who actually, cares about wrestling and his in-ring product and who's actually really good at it. Like, I want somebody who's, a talented wrestler like AJ Styles or Shinsuke Nakamura. Not a weak-ass imitation wrestler like The Miz. Looks like a guy pretending to be a pro wrestler.
In terms of the wrestling, yes, but in terms of the story, I think it's far more intriguing.
What story?
The Miz trying to sneak a Money in the Bank cash in on AJ Styles. You don't want it to happen, but you know, and I know, and everyone else knows, it more than likely is going to happen.
And then what?
And then you have Miz Daniel Bryan eventually for the WWE Championship.
Eventually?
Eventually.
Immediately. You take the title off the Miz, you use Miz as a transitional champion to put the title on Bryan. You don't want to have AJ drop the title to Bryan because you want to build the title match between AJ and Bryan for Mania next year. And that's why Miz wins Money in the Bank, because for a few months he'll tease a cash-in on AJ, then he'll cash in, he'll take the title. At the next pay-per-view, Bryan beats him in 10 minutes, makes him tap to the heel hook, Bryan's a champion again, and we set up AJ, Bryan, Mania. That's what I want to see, and that's the only way that I could possibly accept The Miz winning Money in the Bank. If he's used as a transitional champion between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. The guy in the middle. So AJ doesn't have to have that match with Bryan. You set it up with AJ wanting his title back, and he's got to get it from Daniel Bryan. Maybe he even wins the Royal Rumble next year. AJ wins the Rumble. He challenges Bryan for the title. That's your match next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's possible. I could see that.
We saw them wrestle on Bryan's first night on SmackDown.
It's a rough match for Bryan.
Why?
Because that neck bump at the end.
He was fine. Still wrestling after.
Yeah, but it looked rough.
You had a tease on that night, and they don't step into another match against each other until WrestleMania for the title. It'll be great. If that's what they're doing, great. But we all know that's not what they're doing.
It's not impossible. I could see something like that go down. Something like that. Not exactly, but wait and see. I mean, it's too far away to tell right now. Samoa Joe winning Money in the Bank too. I could see that.
I would prefer that. Samoa Joe teasing a cash-in on AJ Styles. That's something I would enjoy watching. Like the same story that The Miz would do, but given to Joe, would be far better. Because he's Samoa Joe. There's that element of Joe's going to kick AJ's ass, and he's got all that history with AJ Styles. That's a far better road than giving it to The Miz. Because I don't need to see The Miz in the main event at all. It's not necessary. He's good where he's at. He hosts the little interview shows. He shoots on people a little bit in his little promos. And he has, U.S. title matches, Intercontinental title matches. He could feud with Jeff Hardy. He should wrestle Jeff Hardy at Money in the Bank. But no, he's in the Money in the Bank match. And I guess he's favored to win, but it's just not necessary. because he's just he's not AJ. He's not Bryan. He's not Nakamura. He's not Joe. Those guys are elite. They're the best of the best. I'm not saying The Miz is the worst wrestler of all time. He wouldn't be in the WWE for as long as he has been if he's the worst wrestler ever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's not as good as the elite on SmackDown, and that's why they should take precedence over The Miz. They are more important to the show, and they should be winning the big matches that count, the big matches that elevate you into a spot. And that's why Joe should win, or Kofi, because more than Samoa Joe even, more than potentially Daniel Bryan, Kofi needs it, or Big E, or Xavier. They need it, because right now they're trapped in the tag team division, and they need a match, they need an opportunity that elevates them into the main event. Because the elite that I mentioned, Joe, Bryan, Nakamura, AJ, the top 4 on SmackDown, they need more guys to play with. They need more than just 4 guys to wrestle each other all the time. That'll get boring. And if you inject the New Day, you don't just get 1 guy, you get 3 guys to throw in the mix. And then it becomes very interesting. Whereas if you throw The Miz up there, he's 1 guy, and the match quality is not going to be what it would be with a guy like Kofi or Big E or Xavier Woods. So I think people would much prefer, say, Big E versus Samoa Joe than Miz versus Samoa Joe. And that's why you bring the New Day up. That's why the New Day wins Money in the Bank. Because they're just better performers. And the quality of your product will be greater if you elevate them and let them wrestle your best guys. It's very simple. Very simple. But for some reason, they're not connecting those dots over there. By the way, the New Day, to determine who goes to Money in the Bank, who wins at Money in the Bank, or who, represents a team, I think they should have a triple threat match.
I don't know if that's really necessary.
I think it would be real interesting. SmackDown, you want to pop the rating? SmackDown one night only, the New Day against each other. And the winner goes to Money in the Bank. And they're like, okay, Paige put us in this match. Apparently Paige has some sort of heat with Xavier Woods, and,
Yeah, right, that's not going to happen. That will not happen.
Guys, I don't know. I think Paige doesn't like Xavier or something. Put us in this match, and we have to wrestle each other. They wrestle each other, very sportsmanlike, and then at the end of the match, they all hug, and, they congratulate the winner. I think Kofi should be the winner. And then they represent, and they hang with Kofi at Money in the Bank. They even help him win. I think there's a way to have them wrestle each other and make it a real special match, and then have them go on still intact as the New Day. But for one night, you tease them breaking up. On SmackDown, you tease them having heat leading up to the match. But then after the match, they're back together and everything's cool. So not only do you get a very cool match, a unique matchup, and a great way to determine who's going to wrestle for them at Money in the Bank, but you also get a test to see how the audience would react to a New Day breakup. So I got a lot of ideas for the New Day. I think that they're a fantastic group and should be elevated. And I think that triple threat match would be a lot of fun. It would make a lot of sense. You know, Paige could say, look, guys, it's not fair that you guys are going to decide at the pay-per-view. We need to know who's going to represent for your team. It's not fair to the other participants. So because you told The Miz that you're not going to tell anybody, now you have to wrestle each other. I think it would be cool. And they could do it logically. I love the New Day, man. They're great.
I think it takes away from the stipulation of them getting to choose. Now they have to fight for it. That's a totally different thing. That's not what they agreed to whatsoever. And it takes away from the whole surprise. You're waiting for the pay-per-view of who's it going to be. And I think they're waiting to just...
Who?
Yeah, they did that bit already. All right. Who's it going to be? At the pay-per-view, they want to gauge that reaction, I think. If it's going to be Kofi, it's going to be Big E. Are the fans going to react loudly for it, or is it just going to be indifferent? I think that's going to be very telling on where that member of the New Day is going to go.
I don't know, but that doesn't make sense because if they figure out the reaction the night of, like they say, okay, it's going to be Xavier Woods, and the crowd reacts great. He gets a huge pop. They're not going to change the plan of the match. They already know who's going to win by that time. So it's not like Woods is going to get a big push and win Money in the Bank in that case.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make sense, John.
No, it's for the future of the New Day. Maybe they will break up.
So when they break them up, Woods will be the one to get the big push because the fans reacted strongly for him being the one chosen? I don't think that makes any sense because then Big E and Kofi wouldn't have the chance to see how they would react to them.
Well, I think they have an idea.
That makes no sense, John.
I think they have an idea of who they want as a singles guy, who's going to break away from the New Day, and I think they're going to try it at Money in the Bank.
Who do you think it would be?
I think it's going to be Big E.
Maybe. He was the guy this week to wrestle The Miz, though.
Well, it's going to be like that every week, where I think Xavier's going to wrestle next week, Kofi's going to wrestle one week. You're only going to find out at the pay-per-view, but that's part of the surprise.
I think if the WWE were to choose one member of the New Day to elevate, it would be Xavier Woods. Because of his YouTube show, because he's young, like he's younger than Kofi, you know. I think he's about the same age as Big E, but he's made a name for himself outside of WWE. He's made a whole brand outside of himself, and I think WWE values that more than most things.
If I'm not mistaken, Big E was an NXT champion. I think he was the second ever NXT champion, so I think they value Big E quite highly.
I think they did. I don't think they do anymore.
I think they're turning around on this. And again, he's the biggest guy of all of them, and they like big guys in WWE, so...
He's not that tall, though.
No, but he's got a lot of mass on him.
A lot of mass. And he can move.
Very athletic.
He's fantastic.
I think it's going to be him, but, you know, wait and see. They could also play it off that when the match starts, they just start brawling because it's no DQ, and you don't know which member of the New Day it is.
Why can't they all be in the match?
Well, technically they could be, right? It's no DQ. It's anything goes. It's just whoever legally is can only get the briefcase.
Do they have to say?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Do they have to say who's in the match?
The announcer should say. If they cut off the announcer, it's a different thing.
I don't know. I think these are very interesting times for the New Day. I think SmackDown this week was really telling on how the WWE feels about them based on the Bar attacking them. Unless this is just to set up six-man tags leading into Money in the Bank. The Bar and The Miz against the New Day on SmackDown.
Is happening this week.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe it's to set up a match between the Bar and the other two members of the New Day that won't be at Money in the Bank.
Possibly on a pre-show, maybe. Yeah, why not?
But, yeah, I guess maybe New Day announces who's going to represent for them in the Money in the Bank match on the pre-show or the week before on SmackDown. And then the other two guys wrestle the Bar. Maybe. Maybe that's where they're headed, but you're looking at this Money in the Bank card already, and it's like 7 matches. Usually these cards are like 8 or 9. So
Right.
I don't know if there's room for the Bar versus the New Day. Maybe on the pre-show, but I don't know. Even then, you've got, like Johnny, you mentioned earlier, Jeff Hardy potentially defending his U.S. title.
Right.
Seth Rollins defending the Intercontinental title against somebody. And then I'd even throw in whoever doesn't win between Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe, who doesn't advance to Money in the Bank. They could potentially have some sort of match. Maybe they'd be wrestling Jeff Hardy. Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, maybe.
Well, Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy was very good on SmackDown. Very dangerous match for Daniel Bryan, I thought, but we could see that again.
I want to talk about Daniel Bryan and Jeff Hardy and their match on SmackDown and the great stuff that Daniel Bryan is doing lately. It is Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon. He's Johnny North right here on TSN 690.
Hey, this is Antonio Cesaro, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Curtis Axel, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
All right, welcome back. It is Wrestling Uncensored. I'm Dave Simon. He is Johnny North. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website. Follow us on Twitter. Follow me at Dave Simon MMA. Follow Johnny North at North Genesis. Check him out in the ring. All his bookings and all the info at North Genesis on Twitter. WWE Money in the Bank is the next big event from World Wrestling Entertainment. This week we saw Daniel Bryan wrestle Jeff Hardy in the main event of SmackDown. I thought SmackDown was a pretty good show this week. I enjoyed it much more than Raw, that's for sure.
Well, I thought Raw started off very well. I liked the Kurt Angle, Stephanie, Kevin Owens promo at the beginning.
Yeah.
Got off to a good match. Singles with Roman and then a tag.
Oh, Roman was in that promo, too. Don't forget about Roman showing up. Stephanie telling him, stop, Roman. I don't play favorites. Roman's like, you're always trying to screw me out of my title matches, and I'm not getting a fair shake here in WWE. Roman's playing the Stone Cold Steve Austin role where he's the rebel and the authorities trying to stop him from, being champion. They're trying to keep him away from Brock Lesnar because they're scared that, what exactly? Roman's going to beat Brock?
Yeah.
He fails consistently to beat Brock. I don't know why they'd be afraid. Brock beat him at WrestleMania. Clean.
Yeah, the Rumble, there's controversy, though. So
The greatest Rumble thing, yeah. But at Mania, he beat him. Just put him in another one-on-one match. Like, what's WWE so afraid of, Roman? That's what doesn't make any kind of sense. Like, Roman's like, you guys are scared to put me in the ring with Brock. You don't want me as your champion. You don't want me representing your company. And it's like, yeah, Roman. Okay. Nobody believes you, first of all. Second of all, Brock beat you clean at Mania. They put you in a match with Brock, and you lost. What are they afraid of? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. This story for Roman Reigns makes no sense. It's not working. It's the WWE trying to say, look, guys, Roman's not our chosen guy. Brock's a chosen guy. We really don't like Roman, so you should like him. Because the knock on Roman is he's WWE's chosen guy, and he's super strong, and the whole company is about Roman Reigns, making him look strong. And WWE says, no, it's not. We don't like Roman. And nobody believes you, WWE. Because then Roman looks really strong when he wrestles Kevin Owens and beats him in the middle of the ring clean. Roman looks really strong all the time. And that's how you book things. So don't tell me that you don't like Roman Reigns or Roman Reigns isn't your guy when quite obviously he is. It is not working. I don't know who out there is believing this story like, man, Roman, he's really getting screwed over by the WWE. They won't give him a fair shake. It's ridiculous.
maybe that part is, but it's true that he's there every week and Brock isn't. There's a lot of truth behind that.
You know who else is there every week? Michael Cole. Give him the title. I mean, who cares? A lot of guys are there every week. Kevin Owens is there every week, and he's good. So, I mean, come on. Give him the title. How about Sami Zayn? He's there every week, and he's mostly good.
You're covering the whole thing, aren't you?
Well, Bobby Lashley thing was. I mean, was it his fault? I don't know, man. But let's take. I want to get to Sami here in a minute, but Roman is just like, come on, man. This story doesn't make any sense. Nobody believes you. Nobody's buying into this. And then he beats Kevin Owens by disqualification, though, because Jinder. Right, it wasn't a clean win for Roman. Right. Sorry. Okay, but he still looked pretty strong, beating up Kevin Owens and all.
Kevin looked good selling for him.
Yeah. Roman hit a big old spear on Kevin outside the ring. It looked rough, that spear. Like, Kevin's head looked like it bounced off the mat. Roman looked like he came up real high on the spear.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than kind of lower on the gut, he came up higher, like near the shoulders. Devastating impact on that spear. And then Jinder came out and attacked Roman. So it was a disqualification win for Roman. So he doesn't beat Kevin Owens clean in the ring, okay? But, for the most part, Roman looks super strong. And, I mean, we all know what's going on here. This story doesn't fool anybody.
Are you really going to be so sad when Roman goes over Jinder? I have a hard time believing that.
I won't care. That'll be my snack break match. I don't want to watch that. Who wants to watch that? Boring. Like, you know how that's going to end, right? Superman punch, spear, 1, 2, 3. So boring. That match will be terrible, by the way. Terrible. I can't imagine a match being worse. Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey will be a million times better than Roman and Jinder. And it shouldn't be.
I have a hard time believing that, to be honest. After this week, I don't know.
Watch.
It's been more entertaining watching Roman and Jinder than Ronda versus Nia so far in this feud.
No, it hasn't.
What's been exciting about Ronda and
Just
Nia?
Ronda. Just seeing Ronda. It's good enough for me. Seth and Roman did beat Kevin and Jinder clean, though, after Rollins hit his curb stomp on Kevin Owens. So Rollins looks strong. And you notice the crowd really likes Rollins, except when he's with Roman. Like, people normally, when Rollins is out there, they're cheering for him. They love him. He's really hot, babyface. People think he's great. And then Roman's paired with him, and they're like, oh, boo. Boo. Because you're with him, Seth, so you get the boos.
It's too bad. But, Seth Rollins, I'm sure, doesn't care because he's the champ on Raw, right? That's his whole gimmick.
Yeah, the top champ on Raw. I think he'll probably wrestle Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
It's tough. I find there's a lot of potential challengers, so I think it's going to be another fatal four-way that we had last year at SummerSlam.
Braun, Seth, Roman, Brock.
That makes sense. I'd throw Lashley, but not after this week. Lashley's nowhere close to the Universal Championship.
Okay, let's get into it here. Of course, Jinder, after the Roman match, he attacked Rollins and Roman with a steel chair. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Make Jinder look strong. There you go.
Wow. Just give Roman a reason to want revenge on Jinder, so the Roman fans can be excited for the revenge at Money in the Bank.
It's not completely one-sided.
No, that's true. Okay, Sami Zayn comes to the ring and introduces Bobby Lashley's sisters, who were all dudes dressed up as women. And they said all these mean things about Bobby Lashley. How he's a bad brother, a bad guy, and he's so mean, and this and that. Sammy actually called Bobby Bobbly Lashley at one point. I think it was more of a botch than anything. I don't think he meant to call him Bobbly, but I like that, Bobbly. Bobbly Lashley. And then Lashley showed up, old Bobbly, and he thanked Sammy for the great joke. And,
Then they all attacked him.
They all attacked Bobby.
And then Bobby got the over.
Of course. 4-on-1. Lashley still got the over. Yeah. It was bad. It was very long, too. It was very long. Sammy could not save it. I like Sami Zayn, but this was a rough spot for him. This was not a good idea going in. A lot of this Bobby Lashley stuff has been odd. It's not the way I would have portrayed Bobby Lashley coming into the WWE.
feels like they're afraid to give him the mic, so they try to cover it up with this whole little skit, and it just came off as super corny and just bad TV. Not as bad as the Bailey This Is Your Life thing with Alexa Bliss last year, but still pretty bad.
Lashley's in a weird spot because the character he was doing in TNA was like Brock Lesnar, pretty much.
That's true, yeah.
Like, his character was like, I'm an MMA fighter, and I'm really dangerous, and I can kick your ass for real. He basically had the Lesnar gimmick in TNA, but it worked, right? It was good.
It did, yeah.
And that's what he's been doing for the past several years. But he can't really do that gimmick in WWE because Brock has it and Ronda has it now too. So you can't really have Lashley as that guy, so he's got to be the guy who has sisters? I can't really tell what he is. He's a family man?
He has a lot of kids.
He has kids. He's Heath Slater with muscles. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all.
It's been really bad writing. It's really unfortunate for both Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn, both great talents. It's a shame that they're put in this kind of storyline. I hope they come up with something better for Raw. Usually when something like this happens, they either make a joke about it or just completely forget about it. Hopefully they just forget about it and we move on.
Do they wrestle at Money in the Bank, or is this just a TV feud?
Yeah, why not? Give it on the pay-per-view.
It's 3 weeks till Money in the Bank, though. I feel like we build this match until like the last Raw before the pay-per-view, and that's their match.
If you're going to build it for that long, you might as well put it on pay-per-view, I think.
I guess. I think they can have a good match, though.
It's sad where it's like, yeah, the match could be better than what you've been seeing so far, but that's the case right now.
What do you think of Ember Moon and Alexa Bliss one-on-one on Raw this week?
A lot better than I expected. I thought that match was going to be really bad, but it really showed you that Ember Moon, wow, can she bump like crazy.
She's very good. And her finisher, that like blockbuster stunner thing she does off the top, it's fantastic.
It's one of the best finishers going right now in WWE, without question. Might be one of the best women finishers ever.
Should she win Women's Money in the Bank?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I feel someone from Raw is probably going to win because someone from SmackDown on the men's side is going to win. So it makes sense. It's just I feel it's going to be Alexa Bliss because you have either Ronda or Nia, both faces. So I feel like a heel from Raw is going to win. Alexa makes the most sense.
You're very convinced that a male winner will come from SmackDown in the Money in the Bank.
Because Brock's not around. It makes no sense to have Money in the Bank from Raw.
What if Braun Strowman wins Money in the Bank and then just comes out on Raw and says, Brock, get out here. Like, this Money in the Bank means anytime, anywhere, I get a contract. So, Brock Lesnar next week or Brock Lesnar Extreme Rules, I am calling you out. Let's go. You're going to get these hands. Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Extreme Rules in July for the Universal title. Sign me up. Extreme Rules match. That'd be fun.
We've been down that road already, though.
How does Braun Strowman not win Money in the Bank? Braun Strowman's unstoppable. He's a monster. Beat Finn Balor in the main event of Raw this week. Thought it was all right.
It's all right. It's just it's two faces. So, I mean, do you really want to see Braun beat the crap out of him, which he did?
I didn't, really. I felt bad for Finn. Makes me like Braun less. I was rooting for Finn there. How do you not root for Finn there? Doesn't really do much for Braun as a babyface when he's beating up a little guy and then he wins.
The only thing is that he didn't beat him up after the match like he does to everybody else.
So?
He just put him in the corner. Well, at least there was some sympathy.
Yeah, sympathy. That's what you want for Finn. Here, little fella. That makes Finn look real good. How do you believe him as a credible main eventer now?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to win Money in the Bank, but that'd be a nice little surprise. I really just don't think it's going to be anyone from Raw. It's not exciting for someone from Raw. I mean, yeah, your Braun Strowman idea would be nice, but we've been down that road. Do we really need to see another one-on-one Brock and Braun?
Yes, I think so. Maybe not at Extreme Rules, but I think it's a good idea to have them wrestle again. Because he's Braun Strowman, man. Like, if anybody's going to be that guy on Raw, it should be him. Not Roman. It's Strowman. Did you see him crush that apple?
Yeah.
That was amazing. Can you do that?
Probably not. Unless it was like a rigged apple kind of thing.
I don't think that was a rigged apple. That apple, Braun Strowman grabs an apple backstage from Stephanie McMahon, and it was exploded in his hand. He just went boom, and it exploded. You try to hold an apple in your hands, squeeze it, and see what you can do, what kind of damage you can do. I'm going to bet no damage at all. The apple will remain intact. It might be like busted a bit, smudged, but you're not going to explode an apple in a second like Braun Strowman does. That is serious strength. That's insane. I was blown away. That was the most impressive thing that I saw on Raw, or in the WWE, for that matter, all week. That was amazing. Guy's a beast.
He's a big guy, big hands. Get those hands.
Get these hands. Get these hands. You know who wasn't impressive? Baron Corbin beating No Way Jose. Terrible. Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey had a confrontation. They had a contract signing. Stephanie really did all the talking for them, though. Stephanie McMahon was there, and she really cut all the promos. Saying, oh, Nia, you're bigger, you're badder than Ronda. Ronda's never faced anybody like you. And then saying, oh, but Ronda's a world champion, and she could break your arm, and this and that. It was weird. She was kind of trying to turn them against each other, right?
Right.
Well, that's the story anyways. What they're really trying to do is avoid giving the mic to Nia or Ronda. They're like, okay, this promo's going to go terribly. Stephanie, could you just carry it for them? Because they can't do it. And that's what she did. And then they got into each other's face. Nia got a little bit mad, telling Ronda she can't get the armbar on her and she's going to beat her at Money in the Bank. And then Ronda moves the table out of the way and shakes Nia's hand and says she's going to take Nia's title and her arm at Money in the Bank. Nia Jax telling Ronda, you can't armbar me. You can't get my arm. Like, that's ridiculous. Really, Nia? Really? I don't believe that at all. Like, in a real fight, my goodness. Ronda would destroy Nia in, like, less than 30 seconds, I think. I think, honestly, like in a shoot, it takes Ronda maybe 20 seconds to break Nia's arm. So, yeah, I don't believe in Nia as a credible threat to Ronda Rousey, and I don't see any way how she beats her clean at the pay-per-view. I expect a lot of interference. I don't think Ronda's going to take the title here, although I wouldn't be opposed to it.
It's too early to tell where they're going with this. I just wouldn't bet against Ronda whatsoever. Again, are we going to see this match? I wouldn't be surprised if something happens backstage and the match doesn't actually happen. Something like that goes down. It's hard to believe we're getting this so quickly. But if it's going to happen, I wouldn't bet against Ronda whatsoever.
I bet you Ronda would defend her title more than Brock Lesnar defends his.
Ronda's never wrestled on Raw, so.
Yeah, well, when's the last time Brock did?
That's a good point. Well, he almost did, right? Like, there was a match with Seth Rollins, like, that almost happened.
Almost.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, though.
It's close.
So, how bad is the Riot Squad? Because they had a fatal four-way to determine who's going to advance into Money in the Bank, and two of their members were in it.
Right.
Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan were both in the fatal four-way. Dana Brooke and Natty also in it. Natty winds up winning, hitting a sharpshooter on Logan to make her tap out. But, like, it doesn't make the Riot Squad look very good. Not only did they have two of their members in a four-person match,
right,
but Ruby Riott was outside the ring interfering as well. So the Riot Squad, total jabronis. That was my big takeaway from that match. They do not respect them or have any plans for them because, I mean, look what happened there. When you have two of the three members of your group in a fatal four-way, you should win, but they did not. Natty, though, getting a good push. Got a promo after a win. I always like seeing a Hart win by sharpshooter, so that was nice. And Natty's saying her training partner, Ronda Rousey's going to be the champion, and she's going to win Money in the Bank. And Natty was saying that like, that's a good thing. I was like, well, Natty, doesn't that put you in a really weird spot?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have to challenge Ronda at some point? She's like, oh, I'm so happy. My best friend, Ronda, she's going to win the title, and I'm going to win Money in the Bank, which makes me number one contender for her title. What? It was a bit strange, but interesting that Natty said that. Could see it happening.
I think she just stayed in the storyline, what's going down, and, you always want to put over the fact that you're going to win a match. However, I don't see Natty walking away Money in the Bank winner.
Never know.
I'd be very surprised.
Well, what if they're setting up Ronda versus Natty?
Maybe, but I doubt it. It felt like they were going to be a team, and now they're just like, oh, they know each other. That's it. Felt like the direction with Ronda changed somewhere.
Yeah, maybe they're going towards Ronda versus Natty.
I feel like we're getting Ronda and Stephanie again eventually.
Nah, I'm over it.
They're not over it.
Yeah, well, they should be. You know what else I'm over? Could we not see Elias wrestle Bobby Roode anymore? How many times have we seen this match? It feels like the past 8 weeks on Raw, they've wrestled each other. No more. I'm done with it.
No, they're going to wrestle again.
I'm done with both of them, to be honest.
They're going to wrestle again for sure.
Why?
Probably at the pay-per-view even.
Why? They've wrestled how many times now?
At least 4 or 5.
At least. On Raw, too.
Right.
In the past 4 or 5 weeks. It's like every week on Raw, Elias versus Bobby Roode. I'm like, come on. Not again.
You saw it live.
Skip to the end. Yeah, I know. I hated it. Terrible match. Andrade Cien Almas, okay? 2 things. First of all, he didn't do the Tranquilo pose this week. I don't know if you noticed, but after he won his match against a jobber, he didn't go down and do the Los Ingobernables pose like he did last week, so maybe somebody in WWE told him not to do that, which is disappointing. Mm-hmm. A. B. He beat the hell out of that guy on SmackDown. Oh, my goodness. Was all that necessary? That was crazy. Almas just whooped him, man. I don't know. I wonder if he'll get in trouble for that. Because, like, you're supposed to look strong, but, man, he hit that guy with a back elbow that looked like it knocked him out.
You take liberties on jobbers. Some guys do that. It happens. And as long as it looks good on TV, depending if the guy is well-liked or not, as long as the agent was happy, that's all that matters.
Really?
I'm going to
What
tell
if
you.
the guy got really messed up?
WWE, they're bullies, man. What do you want me to tell you? Like, they don't care.
Did you see that, though?
I did see that.
Rough.
The double knees to the back, like, man, that could have been career ending right there.
Yeah.
But they're bullies in WWE. What do you tell me?
And it shows you what kind of guy Almas is.
Yeah, he can be vicious.
He is not afraid.
The guy was a lot smaller than him, though. But
yeah, but, the guy, Almas has got some cojones.
Well, I'd like to see him do that against the top guy. Will we do that to Daniel Bryan?
I hope not. You better not. I enjoyed that. But I think the jobber kind of hit him hard a little bit. I think Almas was being stiff, and I think the jobber hit him back a little bit, and Almas didn't like it. So then he went he was like, yeah, you want to make me look bad? Watch this. And then he destroyed him.
Yeah, Perry Saturn did the same thing, and that pretty much cost him his job. So
that's what I'm saying. You could get in trouble for that.
You could, or, the agent they're all laughing backstage. It's very likely.
It depends on who you are and how they feel.
That's it.
Any given time. So the Good Brothers, Anderson and Gallows got a surprising win on SmackDown this week, beating the Usos. Anderson and Gallows haven't been given a lot. Now on SmackDown, they beat the former champions. I was a bit surprised by that.
Surprising, but, they need to go in a different direction with the Bludgeon Brothers. They've already wrestled the Usos. They need something new and different. Club makes sense.
I like that match, too. I think it's going to be good. Another surprising win we expected Billie Kay to advance to Money in the Bank because Peyton Royce didn't win her qualifying match. So we figured one of the two of the new Iconics duo would be qualifying, but no, Lana beat Billie Kay this week. Wasn't much of a match. A lot of kind of outside confusion with Peyton Royce, and then Lana winds up winning. And she looked very happy, like legit shoot happy to win a match and be in Money in the Bank. Like, that's a big deal for Lana, who rarely gets to wrestle. You know, she wants to wrestle. She wants to be in the ring. She doesn't get those shots very often, and now she not only won a match on SmackDown, but she gets to be in the Women's Money in the Bank match this year, which is huge for her. So she was, like, those emotions, you saw her very happy there on SmackDown after her match. That was very real. That was not a character thing.
Maybe so, but I'd be very worried about the match now, because now in that kind of match, you have to deliver some dangerous stunts, and I don't know if she's up for that.
Me neither.
So
I don't think she's going to deliver dangerous stunts. I don't think she really has to do much.
There are
other people in that match that can do stuff. She's not going to do anything crazy. Come on, man.
It's going to stand out if she doesn't do anything.
No, it won't. She'll be lost in the shuffle. Don't you worry. And there's no way she wins. Naomi beat Sonya Deville on SmackDown. AJ Nakamura had their little promo to determine the stipulation for Money in the Bank. I thought it was funny when Nakamura said it was going to be a pillow fight at Money in the Bank.
That would have been fun.
That would have been, yeah. I thought for a second he was like telling the truth. I was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, that's kind of funny. Like, how would that really work, you know? But obviously he was joking. And they had a brawl outside the ring, into the crowd. Nakamura hit AJ with a chair and then a knee to the face. And he counted AJ down 10 and then said, last man standing and Money in the Bank. That'll be the stipulation. Only problem is, if that was a stipulation for their last match or their last title match, they both would have lost. So how does this solve the problem, right? It was at the, what pay-per-view was it? Backlash?
Yes.
Backlash. AJ wrestles Nakamura. They kick each other simultaneously in the groin. They both fall down. Can't stand up for the count of 10. And it's a double countdown match.
Right.
So if that happens again in the last man standing, same outcome. Nothing is resolved. The stipulation was to change the outcome, was to make sure we had a winner, but they have failed.
No, it's going to happen again, and you think, oh, that might be the finish, but it's a false finish this time around.
Right.
So that's why they did it.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. If they really wanted to make sure they had a winner, this isn't the way to go about it.
You would have had to add something with it where it's like a 10 count, and then you pin the guy, something like that. I think that's a Texas death match or something like that.
That's good.
But they're not from Texas, so that's not going to happen.
It would have been funny for Nakamura to say Texas death match. Although I don't think they'd call it that. That's not a very PG name for WWE. Anyway, so it's going to be a last man standing match. I don't know. I don't know if Nakamura takes the title from AJ. He might not be the guy.
I don't think he is. I mean, just beat him, too. So AJ has to get the over back. They're kind of even, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I'd like to see Nakamura win the WWE Championship, but I don't know if this time around is going to be where he gets it. I don't know. I don't know if he'll ever get it. Daniel Bryan, I'd like to see regain the WWE Championship. He had a great match again this week, main eventing SmackDown against Jeff Hardy. First time ever that these two wrestled. Great stuff. Bryan wins with a heel hook submission. Samoa Joe says he'll see him next week. SmackDown this week will be Joe versus Bryan. Winner gets the last spot in Money in the Bank. Will it be Bryan? Is it possible that Daniel Bryan wins Money in the Bank?
It's not impossible. I just think it's highly unlikely he's getting past Samoa Joe.
Yeah, you think Joe beats him?
Yeah,
just
I think
beats
so.
him.
Maybe interference. Maybe whoever he's probably going to wrestle. Maybe Almas. See that.
Almas versus Bryan at really now?
Why not?
At Money in the Bank?
Because he did that promo saying that he's not getting any respect and he's going to take it. Could be that.
Could be. I could also see Bryan beating Joe, being in Money in the Bank, and maybe, the Miz knocking him off the ladder and then the Miz taking the briefcase.
I just see them saving it because they haven't touched whatsoever on SmackDown. I just don't see them using it at the pay-per-view. I could be wrong, but...
Yeah, but plans could change now because I think the plan was for Bryan to wrestle Big Cass, but Big Cass is hurt.
Right.
So now you got to do something else with Daniel Bryan. So maybe you throw him into the Money in the Bank match.
You could.
I'm not convinced that he's losing to Joe here. I still could see Bryan being in this match because his plans have changed. It was supposed to be Big Cass. Cass is hurt legitimately from what we understand. So you got to find something new for Bryan to do, I guess. Unless Cass is going to be back for 3 weeks at Money in the Bank, but I don't know.
Thing is, Joe really hasn't had a big match. He had Sin Cara, and then he lost to Roman Reigns. So I just find you really got to give Joe something at this point. Daniel Bryan, he's already made man.
I guess. But do you really want to see him lose again?
He could take a loss.
He just took one.
He could take another one. It's fine.
Rusev beat him a couple weeks ago, and now Joe's going to beat him?
Makes sense, no?
It doesn't make you believe too much in Daniel Bryan, although he did just beat the U.S. champion clean.
He'll be fine. A loss like the Samoa Joe, it doesn't hurt him, in my opinion.
I think it does more for Joe to beat Bryan than it does for Bryan to beat Joe.
That's why he needs the win.
Yeah. I think that's a solid point. We'll see on SmackDown coming up on Tuesday night, and also it'll be a last chance Money in the Bank qualifying gauntlet for the women. The last spot in the women's Money in the Bank match, we got Sasha Banks, Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Mickie James, Bayley, and Dana Brooke. John, who's getting the last spot?
Well, you don't think it's going to be one of the Riott squad because you thought in 4-on-2 kind of thing situation they couldn't do it. 3-on-6, I guess they're really screwed, right?
Well, yeah, maybe not. Maybe Ruby Riott gets the last spot. They give her something.
I'm thinking probably not Sasha, but I want it to be Sasha. I'm going to say Mickie James, I think. Be a heel.
I'm going to say it's going to be Bayley.
Surprising.
Bayley or Sasha. One of the two. I think it's going to be Bayley or Sasha. John, when's your next match? When can people see you in the ring?
It's going to be June 17th. Not Money in the Bank. It'll be in Montreal for Drew Onyx's Torture Chamber show. Bell time is 2 p.m. 4325 Industrial Boulevard. Tickets are $5.
All right. You can follow Johnny North on Twitter at North Genesis. You can follow me at Dave Simon MMA. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website. Go check out our YouTube channel. We do live YouTube shows. I'll be on right after Money in the Bank. We always have the Wrestling Uncensored pre-show live on YouTube. YouTube.com/ringsidereport.net with .net spelled out D-O-T-N-E-T. YouTube.com/ringsidereport.net. All the info on our website, WrestlingUncensored.net. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. That way, they get uploaded as soon as they're up on the website, right there on your device. Very easy. I want to thank Jimmy and Marco for helping us out back at TSN 690. And a thank you to you for listening. For Johnny North, I'm Dave Simon, and this has been Wrestling Uncensored. Yeah.
Yeah.